Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the quirks of the human mind that shape our everyday lives. Today we're tackling something that's probably affected you more times than you realize, the Dunning-Kruger Effect. If you've ever wondered why some people seem blissfully unaware of their own incompetence, or why experts often doubt themselves while amateurs strut around like pros, this is the video for you. By the end of this lesson, you'll not only understand this fascinating cognitive bias inside and out, but you'll also have practical tools to spot it, avoid it, and even turn it to your advantage. We'll break it down step by step with real-world examples, scientific backing, and strategies to master it. Stick around because this could change how you view yourself and the world around you. Let's jump in. First things first. What exactly is the Dunning-Kruger effect? At its core, it's a cognitive bias where people with limited knowledge or skill in a particular area tend to overestimate their own abilities. Picture this: someone who's just started learning guitar after a couple of YouTube tutorials thinks they're ready to headline a concert, while a seasoned musician with years of experience worries they're not good enough for a local gig. That's the essence of it. Named after psychologists Justin Kruger and David Dunning, who first described it in a 1999 study, this effect highlights a paradox in self-assessment. Low performers don't just make mistakes, they fail to recognize them because they lack the metacognitive skills to evaluate their own competence accurately. On the flip side, highly competent individuals often underestimate themselves because they're aware of the vast complexities in their field, assuming others know just as much. To make this crystal clear, let's think about the classic graph that represents this effect, though we're keeping it verbal here. Imagine a line chart where the x-axis is actual competence, from low to high, and the y-axis is perceived competence. For beginners, perceived ability shoots way up, creating a peak of Mount Stupid, where overconfidence reigns. Then, as people gain real skills, their confidence dips into the valley of despair when they realize how much they don't know. Finally, as expertise builds, confidence rises again, but more modestly, forming a plateau. This isn't just theory, it's backed by experiments. In their original study, Kruger and Dunning tested Cornell University students on humor, grammar, and logic. Those scoring in the bottom quartile overestimated their performance by a whopping 46 percentile points, thinking they were above average when they were far below. Meanwhile, top performers underestimated themselves, assuming the tasks were easier for everyone. Now, why does this happen? The root cause lies in metacognition, or thinking about your own thinking. Incompetent individuals suffer from a double whammy. They lack the skills to perform well, and they also lack the awareness to see their deficiencies. It's like being colorblind and not realizing the world looks different to others. Factors like ego protection play a role too. Our brains are wired to maintain a positive self-image, so we inflate our abilities to avoid discomfort. Cultural influences can amplify this. Think of societies that prize confidence over competence, where bravado gets rewarded more than quiet expertise. Recent studies, including follow-ups by Dunning himself, show this effect persists across domains, from driving to debating politics, and even in professional settings like medicine or finance. Let's bring this to life with some relatable examples. Have you ever scrolled through social media and seen someone confidently spreading misinformation about health or science? That's Dunning-Kruger in action. For instance, during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, countless armchair epidemiologists claimed to know more than actual experts, dismissing vaccines or masks based on half-baked research. In the workplace, it's the new employee who insists their way is best without understanding company processes, leading to costly errors. Or consider reality TV talent shows. Contestants who can't carry a tune but believe they were the next big star, shocking judges and audiences alike. On a personal level, think about driving. Studies show that 80% of people rate themselves as above average drivers, which is statistically impossible. These examples aren't just funny. They illustrate how the effect can lead to poor decisions, from bad investments to strained relationships. But it's not all doom and gloom. The Dunning-Kruger effect also explains why true experts often seem humble. Take chess grandmasters or top surgeons. They know the intricacies and pitfalls so well that they constantly question themselves. This self-doubt can actually fuel growth, pushing them to learn more. However, there's a flip side, imposter syndrome, where competent people undervalue themselves excessively, which is sometimes seen as the opposite end of the Dunning-Kruger spectrum. Recognizing the Dunning-Kruger effect in yourself is trickier than spotting it in others, but it's crucial for mastery. Start by asking, am I overconfident in areas where I'm a novice? For example, if you're debating a topic online, pause and consider if you've really studied it deeply, or if you're relying on superficial knowledge. Signs include dismissing expert advice without evidence, feeling superior without achievements, or avoiding feedback because it might bruise your ego. In others, watch for unwarranted certainty. Phrases like, it's obvious, or everyone knows that, when the topic is complex. But be careful. Accusing someone of Dunning-Kruger can backfire, as it might trigger defensiveness. Instead, use it as a lens for empathy. Remember, we've all been there at some point. The impacts of this bias are far-reaching and can be dangerous. In politics, it leads to voters supporting unqualified candidates who exude confidence over substance. In business, overconfident leaders might pursue risky ventures without proper analysis, causing failures like the infamous Enron scandal or more recent tech bubbles. On a societal level, it contributes to anti-intellectualism, where expertise is undervalued, exacerbating issues like climate denial or pseudoscience proliferation. Personally, it can stall your growth. If you think you're already great, why improve? This stagnation keeps people stuck in mediocrity, missing out on true potential. So, how do you overcome the Dunning-Kruger effect and truly master it? The good news is that awareness is the first step. Once you know about this bias, you're less likely to fall prey to it. Here are proven strategies to build on that. Cultivate intellectual humility. Admit what you don't know. Adopt a mindset of, I could be wrong in discussions. This doesn't mean being wishy-washy. It means being open to evidence. Research shows that humble people learn faster and make better decisions. Seek feedback actively. Don't wait for criticism. Ask for it. Find mentors or peers who can give honest assessments. In studies, when low performers were trained to recognize competence, their self-evaluations improved dramatically. Tools like 360-degree reviews in workplaces are gold for this. Commit to continuous learning. Dive deeper into subjects. Read books, take courses, or practice deliberately. The more you know, the better you calibrate your confidence. For instance, if you're learning a new skill like coding, track your progress objectively with tests or projects. Practice self-reflection. Journal about your experiences. Ask, what went wrong last time? What can I improve? Metacognitive exercises, like predicting your performance before a task and comparing it afterward, help bridge the perception gap. Surround yourself with experts. Exposure to high competence humbles you naturally. Join communities or forums where real pros share knowledge. This reveals the depths you might not see alone. Use data and metrics. Rely on objective measures over gut feelings. In fitness, track workouts with apps. In investing, use historical data instead of hunches. This counters the bias by grounding your self-view in reality. Implementing these isn't easy. It requires effort and vulnerability. But the payoff is huge. You'll make smarter choices, build stronger relationships, and accelerate your growth. Leaders who combat Dunning-Kruger foster better teams by encouraging feedback loops and diverse perspectives. For deeper insights, let's address some nuances. Critics argue the effect might be overstated or explained by regression to the mean, basically statistical noise where extremes average out. However, meta-analyses confirm its validity across cultures and tasks. Interestingly, it's not universal. In East Asian cultures, where humility is valued, underestimation is more common even among novices. Recent 2024 studies by Dunning explore how misinformation amplifies it in the digital age, with algorithms feeding users content that reinforces their biases. Politically incorrect as it may sound, this effect explains why incompetent people often rise to power. Confidence sells, even if unfounded. Substantiated by leadership research, it shows charisma trumps competence in initial impressions. In wrapping up, mastering the Dunning-Kruger effect means embracing lifelong learning and self-awareness. We've covered its definition, science, examples, recognition, dangers, and strategies to overcome it. Remember, the goal isn't to become paranoid about your abilities, but to align your confidence with reality for better outcomes. Apply one strategy this week, maybe seek feedback on a skill, and see the difference. If this resonated, hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-bending psychology lessons, and drop a comment. Where have you seen Dunning-Kruger in action? Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay humble, and I'll see you next time.